All right, we're ready for the next 6 questions, starting with number 7. A town builds a dam on a river to produce electricity. A map of the area is shown. So we've got the land, the river, and land. We've got the land flooded by the river and the water flow reduced. Okay, so it's hard to see what this graph is showing, but there's the river. If we build a dam across this way, that's what that is. And so on this side of the dam, it flooded the land. And on this side, not much water is flowing anymore. So how does building the dam affect the environment in the area? The dam increases the type of fish living in the area. The dam causes habitats along the river to change. The dam decreases the temperature of the water in the river. The dam causes all the fish in the area to die. So this is one of those questions where you look at this and it's like, I don't know, maybe it could be all those maybe. It's kind of a confusing question. Okay. The main thing it's wanting you to see here, notice what the picture is showing. Look at your pictures on a question like this. What does it talk about? It talks about land being flooded and being less water. So the area is affected, which affects the animals' habitats who are along the river, right? So if I'm a little rabbit and I've got a hole right here and then they build a dam and it floods my hole, it affected my habitat, didn't it? So the answer to number 7 is B. Okay, number 8. A student shines a beam of white light through a prism. Do you remember what happens when you shine light through a prism? What happens to the light is it comes out from the other side of the prism. This light is refracted in the prism. It bends the light and it comes out in the different colors of the rainbow. So let's see which one has an answer like that. It remains the same. Nope. It appears dimmer. No. Brighter. No. It splits into different colors. D. If you shine white light through a prism, it's going to be different colors when it comes out. So 8 is D. Number 9. Gardeners use different amounts of water and types of soil to grow tomato plants. Tomato plants can be grown in a garden, hanging from a basket, and inside a building. What is the most important thing all the tomato plants need to survive? Okay, so where they're using different amounts of water, different types of soil, they can grow in a garden, hanging in a basket, or inside a building. So what's the most important thing all the tomato plants need to survive? Is it cool temperatures, enough light, insect protection, tall planting pots? On a question about plants like this one, there's a good chance it might be about photosynthesis. And so we've got to think about what a plant needs to make its own food to survive. What's it need? It needs the air we breathe out, needs carbon dioxide. It needs water, and it needs sunlight. Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight. Do you see one of those in the answer? Letter B says enough light. That's going to be your answer for number 9. It needs enough light. Okay. Sure, insects could eat it, but light is what it needs to make its own food and survive. So that's the answer. Okay, number 10, 3 more. The diagram shows an arrow and how the arrow looks through different lenses. Okay, so here's an arrow. If I look through lens A, it makes the arrow bigger. If I look through lens B, the arrow's the same. Lens C makes it smaller. Lens D makes it fatter or something. Lens E makes it smaller. And then it says, which 2 lenses can be used in a magnifying glass? We want any kind of lens in a magnifying glass to make it bigger, right? So A definitely makes it bigger. And D, it's not as big as A, but it's still bigger than over here. So A and D make it bigger if we want something magnified. So we'll use lens A and lens D. And notice they're different. They're the same shape. They're an oval shape, but this one's a small one and this one's a big one. Okay. Number 11, 2 more. A student rolls a ball to the top of a hill. Oh, this is like our roller coaster activity we did last week, a roller coaster lesson. He rolls the ball to the top of the hill, stands still, and then allows the ball to roll down the other side. 4 positions A, B, C, and D are marked. At which position is the potential energy greatest and the kinetic energy the least? Potential is when it has the most potential to have a lot of energy. And anytime there's something at the top of a hill, it has the most potential energy. So our answer on this one is going to be position B. Down here, it's already moving. If it's rolling down the hill, it's moving. But when it gets to the top of the hill, it's got a lot of potential energy. Okay, last one for today. A student stands on different steps, W, X, Y, and Z, of a ladder. There they are. The student drops a ball into a sandbox from each step. The table shows the steps from where the ball is dropped and how deep the ball pushes into the sand when it hits the sandbox. So from step W, higher up, it pushed further down into the sand. From step X, a little bit less, and so on. The lower you are, the less it would push down into the sand. So what statement does that data support? The ball dropped from step W, travels the farthest and hits the sand at the greatest speed, transferring the most energy to the sand. Makes sense to me. The ball dropped from step Z, travels the shortest and hits the sand at the greatest speed. No, it's going to pick up more speed the higher it's dropped from. The ball dropped from step X, travels the farthest. No, because it's W's higher than X. The ball dropped from step Y, travels the shortest. No, because Z would be shorter. It has to be A. It travels the farthest and hits the fastest and pushes the farthest into the sand. From step W, because it's higher up, gravity's pulling down on it harder. Okay? All right, so there's 6 more. You'll have some questions like these today. I'll let you go get on them now. See you later.